Welcome back to the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You already know where to look. Shout out to my next guest. You may or may not recognize him from Netflix's season 1 of Rhythm and Flow. InglewoodIV, bro. What's good,
deal?
man? You know, you had like a hell of an entrance on the show. Starting off at the 1500 Sound Academy. First scene is like you and Nipsey Hussle.
True.
So, you know, speak up to the mic, man. People
my
want to
bad.
hear your voice, bro.
I'm sorry about that. Oh, man. But, nah. That was actually like a real surreal life experience for me. Excuse me, let me sip this water.
Yeah, you good.
Action.
Nah. Yeah, it was a crazy experience for you.
No, yeah, it was crazy, dude. Actually being in front of Nipsey, you know, before he passed, like, you know, I got so much feedback from that alone. It was like, for me, growing up, I used to grow up. I banged Nipsey from all the way from Bullets Ain't Got No Name 1 all the way to Victory Lap, and like I was a constant fan, bro. So being able to, you know, perform on that platform in front of him at that time, before he passed, actually one of his most viral moments before he passed was like pivotal in my life right now, because I see how people look at me and not necessarily more not expect me to carry that torch, but expect me to have some type of real connection with him. And it's like, well, I felt like I did have that connection with him, and I feel like I need to display that a little bit more in my music. So that's what I've been doing as of lately. So
I hear you, man. I mean, one part I think the show doesn't necessarily do like your music too much justice, because when I went back and listened to your music, I was like, okay, he got a lot more bars,
That's crazy
bro.
that you say that, because it's like I got that so many times from so many people. And it's like, the thing is, when we did the show, it was like they gave us the beat. You feel me? And it's like, most of the people, when we got the beats, we looking like, what the fuck is this trash?
Yeah, I mean, some of the beats sounded like they belonged in the 2000s.
They were trash. They were trash, and nobody could really get with them. But I understood the concept of the show. It's like, make do with what you got, and that's kind of what we did. So again, I agree. Yeah, the track didn't do me justice. So when y'all really tap in, hit that link in my bio, y'all, and really listen to the shit I got on iTunes and on my SoundCloud, you know, I really do this shit. You know?
Yeah, because then I think I was watching a couple videos on your YouTube page.
All
too.
shot by that man right there too.
Oh yeah,
yes sir.
KB the shooter, man.
KB the shooter, all shot by that guy right there. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I really respect the fact that, you know, being in the LA area, we're used to hearing stuff like a YG, right? And we're used to hearing like everything at like 100 BPM, like the club bangers and shit. So what I really appreciate about you is that you kind of keep it on a very conscious level.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like I got a lot of that from my mom. My mom, she raised me off Tupac. And Tupac, you know, he was a poet.
Legend.
You know, he's a poet. He's an educator. And at least that's what I got through his music. And he always spoke about some real shit in a gangster way. And it was like, damn, if he could do it, I could do that shit. You know, like I can make conscious rap gangster. You feel me? I can have something to talk about with meaning, something with value, and have that in my lyrics and still not seem like a square.
Yeah, because like the club shit, like the fun shit, that'll always
you can make that. You can make conscious shit club shit though. You feel me? You can make conscious shit club.
Well, that's why I see what you were doing. You know, in the first episode when you spit your verse, like murder.
Yeah,
I see what you were doing.
Yeah, that was my whole point of it. It was like I didn't want people to get too captivated into the lyrics and become like emotionally like tied into it, which they eventually did anyway because of the lyrics. But they gave us like 40-something beats to choose from, and it's like I could have chose. So you heard some of the beats that some of the people were performing on. They sounded very familiar. They were like,
I think I heard like a rerun of a beat.
Exactly. A lot of people had the same shit. So it's like we only had so many to choose from. But I felt like that one in particular was gonna be the one that was gonna keep them uplifted and rock with me, as opposed to be like, he's a little too deep. And I think that's what kind of gave me that nudge. It was the beat, because I was able to like pick it up. You feel me?
So the beat for the murder, that wasn't like your own beat. That was a beat that you had to select from them?
That was definitely. Yeah, so it was my original lyrics, but it was their beat.
That's kind of crazy.
It's fucked up. It was fucked up.
Yeah, because it's like...
it was fucked up.
Because sometimes the beat won't necessarily match.
No, it don't. The BPMs are completely different.
That's
so it's like it's
crazy.
But then again, that becomes with being an artist. You gotta be able to adapt to that. Exactly. You gotta be able to adapt to it. So I've been doing it for some time. So it was kind of easy for me to jump on that train.
Bro. That's why when Chance and Cardi were giving you that criticism of like it was a little bit too like abrasive, but then T.I. gave you that like I see what you're doing. I was like, I actually agree with T.I. on this one.
And you want to know something? I feel like a little bit after the show, like once I got kicked off before it aired, I kind of like, you know what? I had to sit back and really listen to the performance because I watched it over and over on my phone and stuff like that, and just like, damn, it could have maybe it was a little bit abrasive. Maybe it did seem a little rough.
It's a learning experience, bro.
Right,
at the end of the day, like you can really look back at that footage and be like, this is kind of like, I wouldn't say the beginning of everything, but the beginning of everybody really knowing who the fuck you are, and you could just see your growth later on.
Exactly. So
I do gotta ask you though, like how long have you actually been doing your thing? Because you're like what, mid-20s right now, so it's been a minute.
Late 20s.
Late 20s.
Unfortunately,
shit, I'm on that 26 mark, so I don't know if I'm like mid or late yet.
Oh man, I would consider that mid.
Okay.
I'm 28, so yeah, I'm tipping
okay.
30, man. I'm knocking on 30's door. But I've been rapping. I've been seriously rapping since I was about like 16, 17.
Okay.
Like actually like really in the studio, putting tracks out.
Damn, in the studio at 16 years old?
Oh, hell yeah.
How'd you find your way in that?
Local homeboy. Sometimes it would be like, my boy had a studio in his house and we'll go there, but his dad or something actually is involved with it, which is how he got the studio equipment anyway. Take a trip with his dad and we in here now just fucking around. We're not doing nothing too serious, but, we had a few hours in between sessions to just, like, tap in and play with shit and, figure it out on our own. So, yeah, about 16 to 17, I've been really doing it. But, I mean, just, like, picking it up as a kid, I'm probably like 11, 12.
Yeah. That's insane, bro. Like, to see that you were in, like, studio sessions at such a young age, like, would you say, did it keep you off the streets?
My mom kept me off the streets. My mom kept me off the streets, which... me being off the streets, I needed to find something to fill that void. You feel me? That's where the music came in at, because my mom, she didn't play that. I was more afraid of my mom than I was of the fucking police. I
was
swear to
afraid
God.
of the ass whooping, bro. Like, what
bro,
the fuck
look,
you doing out here?
I could get arrested today, and look, yo, whatever we do, don't tell my mom.
Yeah, shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms. You already know what's
Yeah.
up. I love you, mommy.
Single parent?
No, of course not, man. No, my pops is there, man.
That's
my
what's
pops
up,
is there.
man.
Pops has always been there. Both parents are always.
That's such a blessing,
both
bro.
married for a long time. I don't know how many years exactly, but a very, very, very long time. I'm very fortunate to have both of them in my life.
Yeah, so it's a blessing to be in like a family-oriented situation.
Oh yeah. And it's like nobody in my family like actually played music, played any instruments, but it was like how I grew up. It was like it was music nonstop. My mom and dad, they was always playing music on the weekends when we clean up the house, because every Saturday we had to clean up. So
one of them joints. Yeah.
We searching through it. What we doing? What we cleaning up to today? You feel me? That's how it was. And then I got an my Uncle Jay, man. He was throwing parties like fucking crazy. He throw parties literally like every fucking weekend. So after we clean up,
you finna party?
We go to Uncle Jay house and turn up.
Oh, okay.
At his house. But he, not like every single day, from him getting in the shower to him getting in the car to just the weekends, music is blasted.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
So you were just kind of around it, whether it be like
around it. I was always
whether you're
around
cleaning,
it.
whether you're at the parties, you're just always around music, bro.
Yep. And I feel like that's where I got a lot of like my West Coast flavor from, because I listen to West Coast music a lot of my life. So
yeah.
Before I was even tapping into any other genres, it was mostly like West Coast rap.
Like who?
Oh man,
well, I mean Pac for sure.
Pac, DJ Quick, Ice Cube, motherfucking Dub C. I have plethora, Mac 10, Corrupt, the whole
man,
dog pound
super
is fucking
LA,
crazy.
bro.
Oh yeah, man, I love it, bro. I love it. I feel like as much as impactful as Snoop Dogg was for the dog pound, Corrupt was definitely the most lyrical. Definitely the most lyrical.
Yeah, Snoop just kind of had like that smooth
vibe
swag, that that everybody could really gravitate toward.
Yeah, but Corrupt was really kicking shit like. On that New York record with Snoop Dogg, man, whoo, my God.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. And, it's crazy that you mentioned all these legends and you kind of sound nothing like any of them, bro. It's weird.
It's crazy. I get a lot of my references I get is T.I. sometimes.
So no wonder in the first episode you were looking at it like you got both Nipsey and T.I. in the same room.
Blown the fuck away. The first time I literally was in the same room as T.I. I didn't get to spit for him. Yeah, I just walked past him. I'm like,
so when did you that audition? Right, was that pre-planned or how did that come about?
You talking about the 1800 or nothing? I mean the 1500.
The 1500, yeah.
So that was pre-planned. I never went to that school at all. I never went to the 1500 or nothing school. And you wanna know it's funny because it's like I'll be out, I'll be like, shopping or some shit, and people come like, so like, yeah, I recognize you from the show. So like, how was it going to that school? Like, did you graduate? I'm like, unfortunately, it's television. No, I did. I never attended the school. So
kind of like a little marketing strategy.
Yeah, no,
Let's
definitely.
get it in 1500 Sound Academy.
It's for the show.
So then, how did that even come about? How did you even like get recognized to audition for the show?
Funny story. I wasn't even gonna end up going to the audition, but long story short.
No, we want the long story.
You want the long story? All right, you want the long story. All right, for sure. So, I end up getting this email, a random email, like, your audition video has been accepted. The fuck, like, this random ass email, and I'm like, I didn't submit a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? You feel me? And I'm like, all right. So, a few weeks go by, and I get another email. I can't remember verbatim what the email said, but it basically invited me to come to meet with the casting directors. So at this time, I bring it to my wife, and I'm like, this shit seems a little legit. Like, what's up? She at that point in time, she kind of like does her own little background research, and she's like, yeah, you really need to go do it and just see what's up. She didn't know the full details of what was going on, but she just knew the names that were referenced in the emails that were sent to me was a very good look. So I'm like, all right, cool. So the day of the actual audition, when I'm supposed to go meet with the casting directors, I get frustrated. I ain't smoked no weed. I ain't did shit. So I don't have anything to wear. So I tell her, I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going. I ain't finna do this shit. I'm not going at all. She's like, no, you're going. My daughter comes out the shower. She's like, Daddy, you're going. You have to go. You have to go, Daddy. I'm like, eh. So now we out in the world, like maybe like 2 hours before the audition, looking for me to find something to wear, because they told you to come to the audition as if you're gonna perform on stage in front of people. So I'm like, all right, cool. I need to get right. Couldn't find anything. Ended up finding something thanks to my wife. Shout out to you, baby. She helped me.
Shout out, wifey, man.
Of course, she helped me put something together, and
she had her cool little cameo, in the show too.
So she did. She definitely did. Her and my daughter. She definitely did. She wasn't fond of it, but she made her. She got her shine. People be hitting her up like, I see you.
I see you, man.
But yeah. So I end up going to the audition, and it's time for me to meet. It's time for me to meet with the casting directors, and I see my boy, like I went to high school with, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, what's happening? Like, and I start putting two and two together. It was you. I'm like, yo, you submitted my music. He was like, I kept telling you to come audition, bro. He's like, but you didn't do it, bro. I never seen your name sign up, so I did it for you. I'm like,
oh,
bro,
shit.
I asked my love. Hey, shout out my boy L Bug, man. Shout out my boy Lauren, man. That's love, bro. That's my guy, man. That's my guy. So he actually he threw me that alley-oop to even get in front of the casting directors, and at that time it was just on me, and I did my shit, and they was in love with it. So yeah. That's how I ended up there.
Were you like the only person who like spit a freestyle that day? I'm assuming there was more. Yeah.
No, so it was only me and another girl, which is funny because it's like some certain people made the show that you never see, that never get aired. I'm like, damn, that's
shout out to the editing,
pretty fucked up. Yeah, shout out to
TV producing
on everything, man. They funny.
Yeah.
But it was this other girl named Melania Monroe. Shout out to her. She from Inglewood as well. She be doing her shit. I don't know what happened. Like the producers loved it when we both did it in front of Nipsey, and they kind of gave us both the green light to go to the actual audition to perform in front of Cardi, Chance, T.I., and Snoop. And I mean, how they did it was so strategic. It was like, all right, if we like you, we gonna tell you to come over here, and if we don't like you, we're just gonna tell you to come over here. So I guess they told her that that they didn't like her.
You go on this side of the line, yeah.
We gonna walk you over here, and I mean, this is what you're gonna do next, and this is what you're gonna go do next. So I don't know what happened with her after she spit her freestyle.
That's crazy.
Director told me to go elsewhere. You feel me? So yeah, that was it.
And so by the time you get to the stage where you're performing in front of Cardi, Snoop, T.I., Chance, were you actually the last person to perform?
No, that's
That's what I figured, bro. Because you know.
No,
because,
I wasn't, bro. And then like the feedback they gave me was so much more. They gave me so much more good feedback. It looked like how it was edited. It looked like that I was, oh, you barely made it type shit, and I'm like, hey, was fucking with me.
So then what did Chance actually say then from your
Chance liked the song. He said Chance actually really liked the song. He liked what it represented. He just didn't think it fit the competition. Like, and I understand that. Like, considering looking at what everybody else did, it was like, which I'm not disappointed in myself for doing, because that kind of like made me like, stand outside the box. You feel me? Besides everybody else, but I get it. Listening to what everybody else did,
it was just different. It was different.
It was different. It was different. I guess, lack of a better word, different. Yeah.
So then what did Cardi actually say?
She said what she said. They didn't really edit too much.
Okay.
She said what she said. She said it exactly that. And I think that was like the highlight, because the crowd was laughing and stuff like that. So I guess that's.
I didn't really like the murder.
Right. But she said it was a good song though. So
yeah.
Cool. It was cool. Honestly, T.I. was the one that gave me the go, period. So like, how can I explain it? The way this was shot, it wasn't shot how everybody thinks it was shot.
Okay.
So it's like,
you need to break this down.
Right,
you got like that cheese on your face. Like, let me just break this shit down. All right,
so I ended up doing the actual audition in front of T.I., Cardi, and Chance before I shot the one with Nipsey. So I ended up going back. They like, put on these clothes again. They're like, wear these clothes again, because we're gonna make it look like it happened the day before. So it's like T.I. said something like, I'm like, yeah, thank you for bringing me back on early or whatever. Like, we shot that like some whole days ago, bro. Like, I've been shot that, bro. Like, so the way they edited it was crazy. It's a lot, man.
So just to reiterate, you performed in front of Chance, Cardi, T.I., and Snoop.
Yes.
And then you went back to 1500 Academy and then did that audition.
Yes.
You gotta love television, man.
They do it. They do a damn good job. They do a damn good job once it's like edited and aired and everything ready for the world. But it's like the whole process of getting this piece together is like, what the fuck am I, man? Come on, man. Like, dude.
That's crazy.
It's like when you're there and never been exposed to that type of stuff before, it's like, ooh, well, fuck it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Everything. And it's like, now it's like, looking back on it in hindsight, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? This shit is real but fake.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. It was dope. It was dope, but it was different.
So when did they do the little documentary portion when they pulled up to your crib?
So now that was actually shot before everything, before I went to 1500 and nothing and everything. Like, yeah, that was shot way before.
See, that's so crazy, because I would think that they filmed that afterwards because they don't know if you're gonna advance or not.
But see, it was like, that's what I think. I don't know. I don't know what the motive was behind that, but it's like certain people got backstories, like in-depth backstories, and some people just got cool little like side snippets, and then some people didn't just get anything at all. You just ended up here.
Oh yeah, that's why I like how they did my boy CNG. They just
had him for like, hey, man, shout out CNG, man. Shout out CNG.
He's actually hopping on the podcast.
Soon. Yeah. Oh, hey, man, shout out CNG, man. Yeah, we got love, man. From Pomona to Inglewood, man. You know what's up, bro. You know what's happening. But yeah, bro, it was.
Was that like, okay, so then was the first episode like the craziest edit that they did for you?
And as far as what?
As far as like this was the sequence of how they filmed everything, and then they kind of just rearranged everything later on. Because then after that, you had like the cipher, and then you had the battles.
Honestly, it was probably when everybody advanced. We had to go in the warehouse, and that's when we got introduced to King Los. And as a matter of fact, I take that back. I messed up. We shot that scene before we shot actually being in front of like Cardi and them. So like we already advanced. We basically already advanced in the show,
Okay.
but they knew that. But we had to go back and shoot the actual audition after we done met King Los, after we done met T.I. and Cardi and everything. We at the top 16 already.
Yeah.
But we had to go back and shoot the main audition. So it's basically like certain people was really just like real life filling people for the show.
Got you.
It was some people were just like real life, just like you're just here.
I feel you because I was talking to this one girl and she was like, "Yeah, the Asian kid that showed up in the first round, like that's my homie." And I was like, "Bro, they did him so dirty because he
no, you
he
know
like
who they did dirty.
Seconds,
you know who they did dirty. The the dude who comes out. I'm so sorry, bro, because. You was in LA with me. I don't even remember his name, but the dude who comes out and
who just grabbed the mic,
and doesn't say anything. He just goes in like, yeah. What's up, y'all? Like, yo, it's a full-fledged production, bro. You can't be doing that. That shit was funny.
That shit was crazy. So that was real. That was full on real.
Nothing was really fabricated on the artist's behalf. As far as production-wise, like the storylines that you see and how they were like edited and portrayed, that was all rhythm and flow. That was their people. Like when they came to my house, that was really where I lived. Like I was my real situation. I think everybody's situation was real for the most part. When we get into it and later on in the show with Big Mouth Bo, shout out to Big Mouth Bo, by the way, which is a funny scene because they edit that so crazy to make it look like she gets into it with Caleb, but she ends up really getting into it with me. And if you watch the show, and she's like, you know, she's going off on everybody. I'm sitting there looking like I turn my head back like, who the fuck is you talking to?
So can you like break down that situation, because I think like
sure
a lot of us
can.
a lot of us were looking at that situation where Big Mouth Bo and what's his name, Ariane, like they were getting mad at y'all, but then we were looking at the screen like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Listen,
I love it.
Everybody, all the contestants, we had the exact same fucking view. We like, wait a minute, what? All right, so we're all sitting down in the basically like the red room, where we just like we deliberate after we performed or whatever, and we're all sitting there talking. And mind you, they give us quads already. Like, okay, I want you to sit right here, you to sit right here, and you to sit right here. So. They put like two groups together, so it's 8 of us, or like maybe 10 of us sitting on the couch, and the producers pull Big Mouth Bo off. They talking to her. Next thing you know, she comes back like, "What y'all say?" And everybody like, "Wait a minute!"
Oh hell no!
Everybody like literally, everybody like, "What are you like?" Everybody look, mind you, nobody's around. Like she's not around, so everybody's already having a conversation about whatever the fuck they're having a conversation about, and she just comes over like, "What you say?" And we like. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What? And somehow Caleb is I guess that's why they portray it to be like Caleb is the one that got into it, because he was the only one that spoke up at the time.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he said what he said to somebody else, but he wasn't talking about either one of them. Like he wasn't referring to either one of them. So it was literally like just like a random punch in the face. Like, yeah, I'm here. I'm mad now. And at that point, I had no clue that this was something that the producer did. I'm like,
I got you.
In the back of my head, I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah.
I will slap the dog shit out of you. But shout out to Big Mouth, bro. I love you, my nigga. You my dog. You my dog. I fuck with you, Big Mouth. This is hindsight thinking, girl. But yeah, in the back of my head, I'm like, I flip out, and me and her end up getting into it on camera and everything like that, and you know they pulling us away and stuff like that, and I guess that was just maybe a little too much for them to air, so they cut a lot of that out and did it how they did it.
Yo, that's so crazy, because now it seems like they want because the show didn't really have like drama or anything. That was probably like the most dramatic part, like the most like beef oriented thing.
Because nobody had real beef. Everybody was really excited to be on the show and be working with like-minded people and dope-ass artists, you feel me? So we were really excited. It wasn't no type of tension, and I don't think we were allowed to spend that much time, I guess, how can I say, leisurely with one another.
Got you. Like not too much one-on-one time.
Yeah,
to actually get to know each other.
To just outside of actually like really working, because it's like, all right, you guys got this. You got this event first. This is what you guys gonna do first. Go back to your hotels and record. Of course, we get off the bus, we go eat, and we chop it up about how excited we are, but we don't really get to chop it up with each other. You feel me? So it's like, man.
But it seemed like the closest person that you did get to was Londynn B. It seemed like it.
Wrong.
Wrong?
Wrong. I fuck with Londynn. I definitely fuck with Londynn, and we definitely had our moments off cameras where, back at the hotel where we just like, had time to kick it. I chopped it up with her, Big Mouth, Ariane, Troy, all at once. We down having drinks, parlaying and really just vibing out with one another, just feeling for each other. Like I said, it was very little time that we had to do that. So, I got to know her, but I didn't really spend that much time with her. The person I did spend a lot of time with, actually a few people I spent a lot of time with, which was Saxon. It's my guy. Old man Saxon is my guy.
I wish he advanced just a little bit farther.
Me too. Me and Saxon.
Yeah, that swag too.
Me and Saxon, we ended up having breakfast together, which was actually really, really dope while we were on the show. And that guy's a genius. Like, he's like a musical genius. Like, how he goes about, telling his story. He actually put out, I don't know if it was his first album or if it was his first mixtape, but it was about him being homeless.
I saw that.
And it was like a legit story about the way he lived for however long he lived that way. And I'm like, bro, that was amazing how you composed, a story lyrically and was really able to embody like your life.
Yeah.
And I was able to know you within 16 bars. I was able to learn you within 16 bars. That was amazing. So I took a likeness to him and, just kind of like really stayed close to him throughout the show. Also, of course, you don't even have to question it. My boy D Smoke. That's funny
Inglewood,
story
bro.
about, look. So this is a real funny story about D Smoke. So Inglewood, California, 104th from Crenshaw, 2nd Avenue. That's my mom and dad house. I used to live there for probably like 20 plus years. I probably moved out probably like 2 years ago. My neighbor was actually, okay, D Smoke basically he lived next door to me. He was like my neighbor basically. But I didn't know who he was while he was living next to me.
Gotcha.
Like, I seen him, I'm like, in passing, like, what's up, neighbor? What's happening? Oh, you good? All right, cool. Go in the house, whatever. That's it. I wasn't too much into it, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because one of his roommates was Jay Pounds. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a definitely dope ass West Coast producer. He's done a lot of work for like Dom Kennedy, a little bit of work for TDE and shit like that. But yeah, he actually lived there too. So I would always hear the music and shit like banging because my room is right next to like where their studio is, in their backyard. So I would always hear it, but I never like took the initiative to go over there and say what's up. So while we're on the show, at this point we're on the show, and mind you, he probably moved from 2nd Ave 4 years in between from then till now. So it's been 4 years from time he moved to us on the show. So we're on the show, and he posts a picture on Instagram of a van that used to be parked in front of my house all the time, and it said Woodworks. And I didn't lose my mind, and I'm like, bro, I know where I know you from.
You're my neighbor.
And from that moment, it was like glue.
Instant connection.
It was like
that's
glue.
Crazy, bro.
It was like glue. And then the more we just chopped it up, we had so many mutual friends, mutual connections, mutual musical connections. It was just like, oh yeah, bro, like we locked in. So that's definitely one that I took home with me. So honestly, with him winning the show, I don't even feel like I lost anything. I mean, even if he didn't win, I didn't lose anything because it was a hell of an experience. But I definitely feel like I won because he brought it home for the West and he brought it home for the city,
for sure,
baby.
bro.
Whole lot of it going on.
I mean, I think there was probably like 3 of y'all from Inglewood. So I was like, y'all chances are really high right now.
Yep. And it's funny because in the show, T.I. says, like, I think we owe it to ourselves to go, comb the streets of our own cities. So it's like T.I. went to Atlanta. You went to Atlanta, and you handpicked these people. Cardi, you went to New York and you handpicked your people. Chance, you went to Chicago. You handpicked your people.
Uh-huh.
Nobody was handpicked in LA.
LA.
It was like you came to audition to get I was a recommendation technically. Like, yeah, I got a few artists that you could check out. Like, yeah, you picked me, but you was like, you
chose
them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want you. Like,
that's why there were like so many things about the show where I kind of already knew that it wasn't going to be somebody from Chicago, Atlanta, or New York. Because all three of them were like, well, it's going to be from my city, from my city, from my city. And to be honest, once I found out D Smoke is Sir's brother, I was like,
shit.
Well, that's interesting.
You want to know something? It's like most of the people that come and talk to me, they ask me, do I think the show was like fixed? And I'm like, honestly, I was too excited and engaged to think it was fixed. But I definitely question a lot of it now. I definitely question a lot of it. And you know what? I'm going to just say it. It's not even a lot of it. It's the fact that D Smoke was paired with Soundwave.
And I was going to say that because the
fact that D Smoke was paired with Soundwave. And it's like, I mean, if you know who Inglewood Sir is, when you watch the show, you would have recognized Inglewood Sir before you recognized D Smoke because Sir signed to TDE, Soundwave is TDE's producer, and
well, that's why even a question, I don't even think you can answer this question, but like on the show, when there's like a scene where D Smoke was meeting Soundwave, I was like, there's no way that's the first time they had met.
Listen, that's not for me to speak on.
No,
that's
for
not
sure.
For me to speak on. But
that's why it was just interesting the way everything panned out.
That's definitely not for me to speak on, but it was.
It was interesting.
It was very interesting. It was very interesting.
Let's bring it back to you, bro.
It was very interesting.
So
I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, bro, so for the rap battle, right?
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I had to ask you about this, bro.
I got robbed. Period. I got robbed. Shout out to Londynn, but I got robbed. I believe that.
You got me when you said you look like you pissed standing up. I was like, yo, this guy already got it, bro. Because her verse was hard, then I was listening to yours, and I was like, nah, but this shit's fucking hard right now. Like, this shit's
That's love. That's love, bro. I appreciate that.
But like toward the end, sure. What happened like toward the end? Did you like get nervous? Like,
nah, honestly, it was no nervousness at that point because it's like I got the green from T.I., Cardi, Chance, Snoop Dogg, and Nipsey. I'm here. I done did it already. So it's like the crowd is only kind of like that. That kind of like they're like cheerleaders, bro. So it's like, ooh, I like that. They pumping me up. So it's like I wasn't nervous at all. I feel like I was thinking far too much about my last bar. Because the thing is, I switched it up so many times as I'm writing it, and this is something that a lot of people don't know. First of all, real rap battles, you don't really have instrumentals. You don't have beats that you rap over in rap battles.
Nah.
It's
just acapella.
You have acapella. You're timed, and you normally go more than one round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all right. So the fact that I had to choose from a plethora of weak ass beats, and basically had less than 24 hours to really like sit down and focus and zone in on what I wanted to write and remember it and then deliver it. That's where it was like, fuck, I'm coming up with shit like, ooh, that's in. Rehearsing that one part so many times, rehearsing this verse so many times, getting to the point like, nah, I don't like it. I'm going to switch this part.
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, I'm rehearsing it. I've rehearsed 3 different versions of this shit already. Now it's like, fuck.
You fumbled.
You feel that? That's all. That's all it was. That's all it was.
Do you remember what your last 4 bars would have been?
Hell yeah.
What were they, bro?
I could do the whole thing.
If for the people, do the whole thing, bro. Do the whole damn thing.
I could do the whole thing.
We need this shit.
Look.
Because that verse was hard.
You really fuck with it?
I really do,
That's
bro.
Love, bro. That's love.
I really do.
That's love. I appreciate that shit. But look. Now, since we got a battle, the mood done switched up. London Bridge falling because I blew that bitch up. Boom, you see the hunger, I'ma chew this chick up. LMA wouldn't even boo this bitch up. I
Pamper Gammer, pan the cameras on me going nuts. Hander planners, I didn't even want to do it. I really like Atlanta folk, but you get stuffed and sent off like an envelope. You really think you look glam as fuck? Well, I think you look like you pissed standing up. Handing her the L so cameras cut. Damn, this slut is getting her show canceled, bruh. Look. Or we could ram it up. See, I knew you was a man because your hands is rough. And your feet look like you've been kicking some cans and cups. But that's none of my business. I'm just an eyewitness to yourself. You're good, but to them, I'm better. A quarter ticket on the line, I would never let up. I told my daughter life is changing when I get this cheddar. So it's fuck where you from. It's Inglewood forever. Woo. But yeah, I'm for sure. I know for a fact. I guarantee you, look, if I would have been able to execute that.
I say the same thing, bro. I say the exact same thing.
It was over. It was over. It was over.
It's all good,
and
bro.
I feel like the excitement on her face when I fucked up, it was like, she was like, oh,
yeah, she grabbed the mic and because she
like,
fumbled in her shit.
But she knew after that, you look like you pissed standing up bar, she knew it was
crazy.
like, damn. She was like, damn, that was it. But when I fucked up, it was like, whew.
I'm good. Yeah.
Because I was out of here. She knew it. She knew it. They knew it. The crowd knew it. I knew it. You knew it.
But even the chain scene, bro, like after you fucked up, you immediately took off your chain and you put it to her. And you gave it to her.
It was humble. Mm-hmm. Stay humble. That's something my parents always taught me, man. Stay humble, man. And, be a man of your word. Before we hit that stage, I shook her hand. Straight up, like, what's up? If you take it, I'll take it off on you. But I knew I fucking had her. Like, I knew I had her, which is why I took the deal to begin with.
Well, that's why your shit was just so, like, amongst, like, all the raps, yours was, like, one of the most personal ones.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, when you get in that battle mode, that's the type of shit that you have to do.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Man, look.
You know what I mean? Like, I see it, bro.
It's funny because it was like, Los, he was the coach for everybody. So it may not shown it on camera, but Los is very personal with everybody. So I had to take a moment with him. I did my shit for him personally, privately, just me and him. And he gave me some feedback, some really good feedback. He was for sure fucking with it.
What was he telling you?
Honestly, he told me that my shit was fucking her shit over. I didn't want to put him down like that, but yeah, he told me straight up, like, my shit was fucking her shit over. But he also told me that I wanted to be aware very much and stay aware no matter where I'm at or what type of music I'm doing, that this is on a national television show. Even though they allow you to be uncensored, children and women are watching this. So, be mindful what you say and how you say it to her, because that can be controversial for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially if you advance further on in the show. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. And then kind of just got in that fuck you mode. No, fuck that. Fuck him, fuck her, nigga, fuck this. We finna get it in. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Well, that's why I appreciated the fact that you had that little cut scene where you were just like, there's a way to approach a battle when you're battling a female.
Oh, yeah,
because you could just come off just so, like, misogynistic.
Oh, hell yeah.
But your shit was just like, it was like a fun diss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like you really took like Los's advice about, like, not trying to be so all up on her about being a girl.
Right.
That would have just been like.
And then a lot of things I got back was, why didn't you hit her with the Corella DeVille bar? And it's like, the thing is, like, how many people like would have anticipated that though?
I mean, you got people with the Tiana Taylor line, and that wasn't even in the bar. That wasn't in the rap. But the Corella DeVille, I don't know, bro.
I should have said that one.
What'd you have?
Huh?
What'd you have? You were just gonna call her Corella DeVille?
No, I didn't have anything for it, but I mean, people were just like recommending that I people send me videos like, oh, you know what? If this was me, I would have said this, sending me all kind of voice memos in my DMs and stuff like that. Like, I'm like in tons of them, and right now my DMs are fucking crazy. And I fuck with the fans, so I listen to them. I listen. I actually read them. I listen to them. I reply to them as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
But a lot of people give me their advice on what they would have said to her, and a lot of them have that Corella DeVille bar, and it's like, now,
damn,
out of these 80-something DMs I just listened to, 12 of them have a Corella DeVille reference. And none of you guys even really rap. It's like, no.
Yeah, you can't really take that advice, bro.
I'm
Listen to King Lo. She'll be
nah.
good.
I'm okay. It's
I feel
okay.
you, man.
So, yeah.
So elimination comes, right? And you know, like, honestly, you look like, tears aside, like, you look like you were really hungry for the shit and you really wanted to, like,
Are you
get
talking
that
about
goal.
the elimination for the audition or elimination for the actual battle?
Elimination for the battle.
Oh yeah, I was heartbroken, and I was heartbroken and disappointed because I cheddar bobbed myself. If you don't know who cheddar bob is,
Shot himself in the leg,
shot
bro.
himself in the leg, man. That's literally what I did. Like, I felt like I placed too much importance or too much time into getting the right verse as opposed to getting the verse. Like, I'm picking which verse I should use instead of getting one down, because no matter what I would have said, I won with the you.
Yeah,
You look
you
like
won
you
with the
pissed
line
with that
already.
bar.
Yeah.
So anything else after that would have been what the fuck ever. So, and that was the part I kept changing. So it's like, if I would have been able to lock in on just whatever I initially wrote and not what sounded best, I would have been in a much better position.
Yeah.
For sure.
So then your experience from being on a internationally, like, televised
Oh my
show,
God,
like,
that's another thing I didn't know, dude. I didn't think it was gonna be. I knew Netflix was like popping, but I didn't know Netflix was like
that popping.
like,
bro, it's across the world,
bro,
G.
Africa,
like, what?
Portugal, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Alaska, Canada, everywhere.
I'm sure you
Brazil.
grabbed like a couple fans from around the world, huh?
From around, bro, oh my God, it's so humbling, bro. So I get so much love from them, bro. I really, really appreciate each and every one of the fans, man. Like, before the show started, I started out with, like, 3,000, 4,000 followers. And I'm at 30K right now.
Yeah,
so
bro.
it's like I'm blessed.
I'm
blessed,
happy for
man.
you, bro.
Thank you,
and
bro.
like, for the record, like, once again, the show does not do this man's music any justice.
It doesn't.
Like,
It
the
doesn't.
music is fucking raw. I wish it was on Spotify,
It is.
bro.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
I can't find it. Wow, that's crazy, bro. Is there a space?
Nope. InglewoodIV, no space.
There
What's
we
up,
go.
man?
There we go. There
What's
we
up,
go.
man?
There we
It's
go.
right there for you.
All right, cool.
It's right there for you.
I got to peep more of your shit
Yes,
then,
you
man.
do. Yes, you do, man.
What do you call it? So then you get eliminated. What do you do next? Like, how do you tell, like, wifey? How do you tell your kid? Because the second one,
didn't want to. I didn't want to at all. Like, I honestly just wanted to stay and just, like, go talk to the producers and say, like, yo, can we just, like, redo it? Like, just redo it. Come on.
like, please, let's run that shit back.
Just one more time.
Yeah.
But it had to sink in. Like, it sunk in immediately because it's like, this is a live production, so that when you're off the show, nigga, get the fuck off the stage.
Get the fuck out the set,
so
bro.
It's like, remember what I told you earlier? Like, when you pass, they escort
They
you
put you
somewhere.
in one line.
When you don't pass,
It's like they'll take you straight to the Uber. Like, all right,
bro.
peace.
You feel
At
it,
least
bro.
you were close.
You want to know how I know? It was like, cause it's like when we both had to exit the stage the same way, and it's like when she exits the stage towards snacks, drinks, all kind of shit. My shit just go to the door. My shit.
That's rough.
My shit just go to the door.
Man, fuck all
That
this
means
shit,
she's
bro.
staying. Like, yeah, go ahead, enjoy that. You finna kick back. You earn that. You, my friend. Yeah, we got your cart ready. I don't know if your bags is packed, but you might want to go take care of that.
You might as well just finna
So
leave
that,
now, bro.
That really sunk my reality in immediately. It's like what? Like on my my cart ride back to get my things. I'm like
just mad as fuck.
Damn. Look, I done got my phone out. I got the phone number dialed. I'm just sitting there looking, just debating on if I want to hit the button. Like, man, I ain't gonna call her, man. I'm gonna just tell her I made it. Just tell her I made
Like,
it.
look, we did the last round today. We
Yeah,
good
like
to
I
go.
just said I made it. They just cut the season finale short, and they just said, they didn't want to shoot the show no more. They canceled the entire show, baby. Like, hey, can't cancel it. Money was money problems, baby.
Yeah.
Budget cuts, baby. They not no more show. I wanted to tell her that, but now I had to bite the bullet and call her. She was actually the first person I called.
Yeah.
And she kind of just talked me through it and just let me know it was all right. She was proud of me for just getting as far as I did. My daughter was proud of me. My baby, my soon-to-be baby, my baby that was on the way at the time would have been proud of me if she was born, just give me a lot of words of encouragement, which I appreciate. Again, shout out wifey, I love you, baby.
Shout out wifey, man.
Yeah, man, it was like it was a bittersweet moment because it was like at the end of the day, I got one hell of an experience out of it. You feel
What'd
me?
you learn from all of it?
This industry don't give a fuck about you. This industry does not really give a fuck about you. It doesn't. Because it's like the thing is, so many people had a following before the show actually aired, before the show was even a thought. Some people had a following, so it's like these people. Old Man Saxon was verified before he even got on the show, so it was like being able to talk to people, who've actually been doing this flawless. He was on a BET Cypher the year before he got on the show. Ali, that boy just been going crazy. He been featured on all kind of shit, and it's like being around people who've been doing this for so long, and it's like kind of like they got that foot in the door, but they don't have their foot in the door, and it's been like that for so long. It's like you learn a lot, and they've taken so many no's, and it's because like the industry don't fuck with you, and it's at this point I'm really understanding. It's like I don't want to be signed. I don't want no major record label.
Yeah.
If we gonna sign it, we gonna sign some distribution shit, and I'm gonna stay independent. You guys distribute my shit, and that's it.
And
Get it out to the world, and that's it. That's it. That's all. Like that's really where it's at right now. Beyond the industry not giving a fuck about you, have fun with your music, man. Have fun with your music. A lot of people. Let me think. Let me phrase this the right way. A lot of people knew how to genuinely incorporate their story within their music, and it's not like when you tell your story, you don't want to bore people. And I think Ray Khalil did that like very fucking well. Like she had if you listen to her lyrics, like she's saying some real deep, in-depth shit, but it's like she has a swag and flavor to her that jazzes it up, and it's very melodic, and it's like, damn, I see that's where the fun comes in at. You know what I mean? Troy, another one, you can tell he has fun with his music.
That's the yay area in him.
Bro, that boy has so much fucking energy. Shout out Troy, bro. He was honestly one of my favorites. If I had a choice for anyone to win besides me or D Smoke, because he represents Inglewood, it definitely would have been Troy, man. And then following that would have been Flawless. Yeah. Definitely, he was hard as fuck too.
That's why it got to a point where I feel like a lot of the contestants were at like this even pace, and I'm just like, well, I don't know who the fuck is gonna advance.
No,
anymore.
right,
like,
right,
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, I think
it became dull because I feel like a lot of people had certain favorites, and that I agree with would have made a better show had certain people advanced. Like if Beans and Flawless didn't battle, and they both would have been able to advance, or that would have been hard. If Old Man Saxon and D Smoke didn't battle. And they would have been able to advance, like that would have been hard as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like if me and Londynn didn't battle and we both would.
Yeah.
But somebody had to go every round, and shit, man, I know, man. A lot of people on that show work really hard, and again, like you said, that song, like the what I did on the show didn't do my real music any justice. That goes for everybody that's on the show. That goes for everybody on the show. Like.
Yeah, it sounds like going through this process, you've gained a whole bunch of wisdom within a matter of months, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can just tell I mean, I didn't know you prior to the show or earlier this year,
right,
but like
right.
I can tell like the show really elevated your way of thinking.
Oh, most definitely, man. It gives you a drive, especially now that it's aired. It's like you see the feedback that you get from people. I'm gonna tell you something. The first time I seen the first episode, it was a red carpet event. It was only premiered to certain people. It was invite only, and it was at a movie theater. So, when you normally watch Netflix, you're probably watching it at home. You know what I mean? Just you, your girl, or whoever it is. It's not that many people. you know, you watching a show like this, rap battles, something that gets you really enticed and stuff like that. You get the oohs and the ahs because, you know, it sounds cool. You like it. But it's like, that's one thing. But when you're in a theater and you're watching that thing, that same thing that you're watching at home with your girl, and then you hear the whole crowd, the whole movie theater like, ooh,
It's
you like,
crazy.
and as you're in there, and then they doing it to you, while you on screen, you like,
That's me. That's me.
damn, y'all doing that to me. Like,
Like
damn,
that, no,
bro,
that's
like,
me.
Damn, bro. Like,
feel you,
damn.
bro.
So it gave me like that moment was like, ooh, I gotta go. It's like, it's one thing receiving DMs like, oh, you know, you're super, super dope. Like, that's hella encouraging and
getting
makes you
that,
pushing.
like, the
But
reception
that
in real
right
life.
there, like real life, and an abundance of people giving you that at one time, is like,
Yeah.
it's almost like a high.
Yeah.
It's almost like damn, I want more. I
You're
want
gonna be chasing that high.
I want you to want this more. I want y'all to want more of me. Let me give you. Ooh. I mean, I swear to God, that's the mode that it put me in right now. So it's like, I feel like right now I've been working harder than ever. I've been working harder than ever to maintain, you know, the blessing of the following that I have received right now. And just because, like I said, I want to give them more. I want to give them more. I want to chase that high. And it's like, I feel like that's a high I can never really get rid of. I feel like that's an addiction I wouldn't want to get rid of. Like, making people happy, like making y'all want to fuck with me. Like, what? What? Like, who don't want that?
Come on, bro.
Who don't want that? So,
man, the next
that's
time,
love.
the next time you're gonna get that, you're not even gonna need Netflix.
I hope
no
so.
shots, but you know what I mean. You know
so.
what I mean?
Right. Shout out Netflix, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Netflix. Shout out Rhythm and Flow. Shout out the whole producers, everybody that, you know, did their thing on the show. You know, I love you guys, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. B, you know what's up. You already know L Bug, what's up.
Yeah.
You already know what's up. Who else? Sonny, you know what's up. Damn, I can try. It's so hard to. Damn, see now,
There's hella
I know
people,
how,
bro.
exactly. Now I know how they feel when you go on stage and like you got so much time when you accepting your award to name everybody.
You're just like,
I'm
man, I don't know what the
damn,
fuck to say.
Shit, it's so many fucking people. It's so many people. But yeah, you guys know who you are. You guys know exactly who you are.
Before we dip off, bro, any new music from you, like by yourself or also with any contestants or without contestants?
As a matter of fact, yes, I just dropped 2 new tracks that released on all streaming platforms. I just dropped this new record called Bitches. It's finna go crazy. Finna shoot video to that, and I can't wait for the world to see that one.
Okay.
I know, because I mean, who don't like bitches? I mean, some
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. You know what I mean. I also dropped another record called "On My Mama" though, and that's kind of just like my like that. That's giving y'all like the street Inglewood me, not like the conscious me, but that's
when the Inglewood come out.
That's the real West Side Inglewood IV. So that one just came out. I actually last night was just in the studio with Jacob Campbell. That's my boy. Shout out my boy Jacob. Shout out to Denver. You already know. So you guys can definitely expect a couple of records from me and him. I'm actually working on my first album, and I'm working on the current EP. I got an EP coming out called Ivy League. So I hope y'all tap into that. It's on the way.
Okay.
Y'all fucking with it? I hope you fuck with that. Yeah, it's gonna fuck with it.
Last question I gotta ask you, bro. Why Inglewood IV?
All right. Damn, I'm gonna keep it short. Or you want the long version?
Let's get the short version.
Let's get the short version.
Yeah, like
Inglewood IV, basically, it kind of derived from my original name, which is 10IV. And I kind of just felt like Inglewood IV was a more representation of the city and me loving what I represent instead of being just like representing myself. So yeah.
There you go, man. Well, Inglewood IV, check out that EP and that
Yo,
project that's gonna be coming
Ivy
out
League on the motherfucking way, boy.
dig?
Please tap in. Stop playing with me. I got new singles out right now. Bitches on my mama though. Your Kind about to drop there right now. You already know. And if you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard it, Shoot Me out right now. It's the song I performed on my audition show for Rhythm and Flow. So please go tap in with that. It's out right now, live, baby.
This is the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz, Inglewood IV, and we're out, everybody. Yay!